It birthed all creation, this much you should understand. I am the origin of all things, and I am the destroyer of all things. 6 a.m. The girl finished her warm-up and turned off her personal fitness training device. She got a Fitbit? The device had been created nearly half a century prior, originally designed for astronauts. Oh my god, she got Goku shit! She's training in multiple times gravity. Damn. It included an air pressurized system that could simulate low gravity environment. Bro! Some years later, a Valkyrie at HQ pulled this aging but unusually durable device out of storage and began to use it in the morning exercises. That Valkyrie's name was Ragna. Oh, Ragna. She's one of the reasons the girl chose to become a Valkyrie.
2358米，今天的身体状态还不错。
Wow, she's so pretty.
那么就趁热打铁，接一套战术训练吧。
Bruh. I feel like calling her Bianca just because I finished reading the visual novel now, and it feels weird to see her name say that now. Like, I feel so thrown off. Oh, just to hold that. Oh! What the hell? This is how you use that battle suit? Bro, I have not used this battle suit a single time correctly in my life. I have not used this battle suit a single time correctly in my life, dude. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's wild. I never knew It's so bizarre to see how she was when she was young and how she is now. Like, you know? Like, she's so different. She's so different. It's about the lifestyle she lived, which makes sense.
事实上，她很清楚，所有的女武神在入伍的那一刻，
She would carry the fate of the masses on her shoulders and fight tirelessly for all that was good. She would spill her blood without hesitation.
对此，少女心怀坦然，甚至，或许可以说弃而愈，追根溯源，这一切的一切。
I mean, it literally. I mean,
计划与命令。
honey, it doesn't just seem like it. It was that way. Like what? Yeah.
她仿佛就像是摩诃婆罗多里的少女，并不确定自己喜欢那样的命运。
Oh my god, getting independence from Otto? We love that.
人尽皆知的印度英雄。
That's very interesting. She's finally having doubts.
比安卡，我回来了。
Otto? A familiar yet unexpected voice shattered the silence of her
早
meditation.
上好，主教。
哎呀，你看起来一点儿也不惊讶。
Bruh, his drip! He's kinda drippy though. He kinda drippy though.
既不惊讶于我的出现，
She was so stubborn as a kid. Bianca was so stubborn as a kid. I love
人
that.
们都说女大18变，
Get ready in a half an hour. You'll supposed to be with the experiment. Attempt to link the bubble yours.
主教意味深长地笑了笑，随后迈着轻快的步伐转身而去。
That's me. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. The overseer laughed and abruptly turned and briskly walked away.
惊天动地的信息，
He was in the habit of dropping casual big news like that.
自己
So
从
true.
12岁
Otto
起
be
承担的那
wildin'.
份命运，以及许许多多有趣的人们，
You
不知他们这些年里在另一个世界生活的如何。
Yo, Bianca really out here saying fuck Alice though. We only talking about Jimmy in this family. I don't even know that robot bitch. And so many other interesting people. She wondered how their lives were in the other worlds. I mean, honestly, the only person I really want to like catch up with is Schrodinger. Schrodinger I really want to catch up with super badly.
薛定谔博士和石宇启罗前辈，他们又流浪在量子之海的何方呢？
Yep, yeah, that's who I really want to meet up with. I mean, the thing is, right? I just wonder how Schrodinger will exist outside of, because she's never returned to their timeline before. She's never returned to their world, and like the story of how Schrodinger even made it back up, like through the Sea of Quanta is really cool. Oh shit, you guys don't know about that. Hold on, you guys didn't read the visual novel. Okay, super cool thing about the visual novel. One really fun thing about Schrodinger. Okay. Schrodinger basically fell to like the pits of the Sea of Quanta, where you don't come back from. And she like tried her hardest to like get up, but she couldn't. She was basically just falling and drowning at that point. And when she was descending into like the depths of the Sea of Quanta, that's when the Durandal's sword came into contact with her. And using the sword's power and her own power to manifest, she was able to push herself and make just a random leap, a blind leap to a blind leap forward, and the blind leap forward put them into the parallel universe. Which is why she was able to be in the visual novel. But also why her form is all messed up. Am I supposed to have a block? Oh! Oh! Anywho, when a girl entered the S-Rank Valkyrie Command Center, a familiar figure had already arrived. It's actually so cool to understand why Rita's the way she is too. Like, why Rita chose to be a maid and shit. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know why Rita chose to be a maid? Because if not, I got you. Like, that's the thing is that, you know what? Now that I'm playing this, I really appreciate like the backstory that I read on. You know? Reading the mangas, reading the visual novel, I really appreciate that now that I have like these characters showing up on my screen. Because, I'm gonna be real with you, like, I did not really care about Rita, besides the fact that she's a waifu, right? Like, they never gave her any, like, they never gave her anything, you know? How are you supposed to like this blanketed character who has no personality, basically, besides being a waifu? And when I read her backstory, it made me just grow to appreciate her. So basically, Ragna, the one who inspired even Durandal, like Bianca, to become the one who got Bianca to become a Valkyrie because she inspired Bianca, and she was also Himiko's mentor. Ragna also was a maid, yeah, and Rita was a little orphan baby, basically, and Ragna helped like make her the woman she is today. So not only was she the other two's mentor, but it was like Ragna literally be everything to everyone. Which is why I get like so emotional whenever I see Ragna's name come up. And it's cool because it's not like, oh, this uwu waifu became a maid. It's like, no. She learned and aspired to be something because she saw it in someone else. And that's why she's a Valkyrie and also a maid, just like Ragna. I don't know, I think that's pretty sick. I think it's pretty dope. And that's the thing is, like, I love, like, and even for, like, Durandal, right, is that before reading all the backstory and before even reading, like, especially before I read Second Key, right? I was like, okay, Dudu's cool and all, but like I don't really know much about her. Same thing with Rita, I didn't really know much about her either. So it's like, can they even be high on my tier list? Hell no, besides character design. I talked about this back when I read Second Eruption. Man, I keep talking about everything outside of the game right now. Was that so Rita's basically like, oh, you know what, Otto, he gave up on, he treats life like it's a chessboard, and that we're all pieces who work under him, you know, that he controls, and he gave up on giving us value years ago. I said this exact same thing back when I read Second Eruption. The moment that Otto stood before the Honkai god, and I'm sure maybe even before then, he saw everyone as being expendable towards his cause. But even more so, I think that it took it one step way further than ever, would have been, like, where it escalated to the next step, was when he stood before the Honkai god, was given, like, all the information of, like, the entire world. It basically broke his brain. And as he was, like, on his hands and knees, he literally was like, we're just ants before God. We are nothing. And then he realized no one had value. Like, that was like the pinnacle moment of like going from being like, everyone's worth sacrificing for my love, and turning it into everyone's worth nothing except for Colin. Right? Which there's a difference between those two things. Which is, I think, is what escalated it so much further. Because sacrifices for love are one thing, but seeing as everyone as being nothing, just vessels to help you attain love, is a whole different thing. So that's what I think is really cool that Rita mentioned that.
丽塔， 你今天说话的口气，怎么突然变得像莎士比亚船长？不，像薛定谔博士一样了。就突然有很多带着哲学意味的说法。
I miss Schrödinger。
是这样吗？抱歉，尤兰戴尔大人，任务当前。
丽塔，你还真是的，紧张，难道不是很正常的情绪吗？这毕竟事关千千万万个在另一个空间中真实生活着的人类啊。打一座深山的村庄，或许终究无法与繁华的都市相提并论，但它也同样有自己的过去、自己的现在、自己的未来。
That's beautiful. Wow, that's a beautiful saying.
现在，改变它衰败宿命的可能性与我们不期而遇，又有谁不会手心冒汗、心跳加速呢？
那这也正是尤兰戴尔大人突然变。
Durandal recalled that she was several years ago. What? They recalled the way she was several years ago. Back when then she was so irritable. Rather short in stature and extremely talkative. Bruh, Bianca wouldn't shut the hell up, man. I loved it. I loved it. She was so snippy. That girl seemed to be a completely different person than the Durandal of today. Exactly! She was so different. She was honestly a brat when she was a kid, so...
怎么了？尤兰戴尔大人。
不，没什么，不是。
If it had been several years earlier, she would have talked openly to Rita about how her personality had changed. But that girl was long gone.
比安卡大人，如果这次的任务进展稍时，我们请半天假出去兜风如何？
如果不影响工作的话，可以是可以。
那么兜风的地点就预定在离浮空岛不远的那不勒斯吧。
Going for a drive, Naples. The girl suddenly remembered the adventure 5 years earlier. But for now, Otto is basically one of the strongest motherfuckers in this. Until we see the Honkai God again. And then the god that rules all the gods. That rules the Honkai God and every other god. That one still exists that we haven't met yet either. Too many gods that we haven't talked to yet. Except Sue talked to the one. And then Otto talked to the Honkai God, and so did Siren. But Sue talked to the god that governs the Honkai God, which is really cool. And all beings, which is like, damn, third eye opening. If the overseas experiment can really help those people in the bubbling universe, then we can drive to Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius? What? The girl sounded great as a usual and Elsa great to make. Yeah. Half an hour later, the Schnitzel Floating Isles, special purpose lab for the second divine key, cosmic juggernaut.
很好，各位都相当准时。尤兰戴尔、丽塔、长光、琥珀，在我离开的这段时间，看守总
主教大人过誉了。
我们只是做了自己该做的事情而已。
他们说的没错。还有，奥托先生。
All right, everybody, this is me. Hello. I got Nagamitsu energy.
您可以演讲的久一点。第二神之剑的空间动力系统还需要再预热5分钟呢。
We can continue speaking for a while. You try to warm up.
看来唯一不守时的，反而是一台机械呀。
At first glance, the fourth dimensional space-time we inhabit is flat and empty. Yet in higher dimensional realms, it contains an unimaginable complex structure.
前文明的人类发明了2个形象的词汇来称呼它们。
Today's experiment will attempt to link a bubble universe within the Sea of Quanta back into the imaginary tree, saving it from extinction, to which is ultimately destined.
在充分研究了第二神之剑，又获得了世界蛇技术原。
I'm gonna be real with all of y'all. This seems like cap.
哎呀，
The point, they're supposed to be balanced. It's all supposed to be balanced. If they can do this and this is successful, what the hell is gonna balance it? Like, no shot. Because if this works, what, like, something has to balance. That's the way it works. And, like, Otto's risking everything now because you have no idea how the universe is gonna balance that out. Like, oh god. Oh god, okay. Well, it looks like I'll have a brief
总而言之，
explanation.
我们这次的实验对象是蕴含在幽兰戴尔体内的特殊世界炮。
But it's supposed to just go. It's supposed to just die with her when she dies.
我们要从
Oh
量子之
no.
海出发，寻找前往虚数空间的通路，并尝试将它人为接入虚数之数。
Bruh, this is so scary.
你需要亲自进入由第二神之剑创造的高维空间。
是。
这次给你配备了升级版的空间深潜返回装置，格尼乌斯 Plus。
I like the way he said plus. Plus. Oh, did you hear how he said it? Did you hear how he said it?
这次给你配备了升级版的空间深潜返回装置，格尼乌斯 Plus。
Plus. I love that. It's space exploration.
负责远程支援的长官可以利用它，会亲自陪同幽兰戴尔。
Oh, his face looks evil as shit right now. Oh my god, Otto, you cannot be looking that evil. Chill, bro. What is this? I will accompany Durandal to the portal. Oh god.
这还是我们第一次在正式场合并肩作战，接下来就请多指教了，女武神。
Well, this place seems awfully familiar. Am I right, boys? Chapter 11 Vibage. Bruh, did they really just plug their own company? Did they just trademark their own floors? Why do they trademark their own floors?
散去吧，世界的残影。
Wow, she's got a booty on her. Should've got a big old booty. Waddle, waddle, wobble, 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 wobble. I think she has the biggest ass in the game.
现实世界的数据信息在这里被重
This
新
model in game?
确立了自成一格的架
Oh, he's
构
so
规则。
tall.
人的
Holy
一生
smokes.
也不过如此吧，在有限的时间中，将自己能接触到的一
Look at
切
that
消化吸
drip.
收
Look at his outfit.
最终形成独立的思想与人格。
I mean, yeah, to form one's personality. Yeah. Sheesh. Look at Otto, though. Damn, Daddy, what's good?
原来这就是身在量子之海的感受啊！和太空中的失重状态。
请尽量不要离我太远。
关系，我不会在战斗中拖你后腿的。
Oh my god. That means that technically, I know Bianca's like on his side right now. I get that. But if we killed him here, he'd be perma-dead. Just saying. Because he can't leave. Like, he can't leave them shits, dude. He's just stuck in there. More munchdas. That's a tubby boy. Look at his big belly. Look at his big belly. He's got a belly on him. Oh shit, stairs. Okay, I didn't even see the stairs there. Alright, this is so pretty. Holy smokes. Did it look this good back in the day? I don't even remember if it looked this good. This looks damn good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Theater of domination energy? What is happening?
这里
This
难
place.
道是？
Yeah, what the hell? Only be between dimensions, one consciousness is sometimes affected by dreamlike interference. For the girl, it came in the form of images of gallows, remains of Honkai based in unfamiliar purple flowers. These are certainly not images from her own memories. They might have been residual data from the Sea of
看
Quanta,
来
or
我们已经
maybe...
离目的地不远了。这里是第十律者在不久之前制造出来的空间，时不我待。
Oh, got you. So basically, for those of you guys who are like, wait, what the hell's happening? So the Theater of Domination, now that the 10th Herrscher is defeated, is gonna fall into the pits of the Sea of Quanta, right? But it's still connected to the currently, right at this moment, it's still connected to the tree. So they want to utilize this connection before this like world withers away. So that's the plan here.
虽说剥离的空间要沉入量子之海本身还有一个过程。
它目前仍是一种假
Does
说。
the Honkai persona really
在这个世
exist?
纪之前，它的确只是一种假说无法解释的庞大意识。
That defied common sense. Oh, he's talking about when he met Honkai God.
这个意识善于用庞杂的
We
信息
love
迷
reading
惑人
Second Eruption.
它可以在一瞬间
Unfortunately, too rated instant. Remember the mind shattering moment Otto had in second eruption when When I literally just talked about that before we started the chapter. When the Honkai God gave him too much info in a second, it like basically broke his brain. And he's down on his hands and knees, begging Mama, please. He was like going crazy, like, oh my god. Interesting. So, Otto's theory is that either its hatred of humanity is not so deep, or it's not as invincible as it seems. Interesting. Interesting. I never thought of the Honkai God that way. Like, I, in my opinion, right, is that the only thing that made the Honkai God seem like something that you could possibly beat is the fact that there's a god above the Honkai God. Now that is something very interesting. The god above the Honkai God is the one that Sue meets at the end of Second Key in chapter 16. Just saying. So, if there is always a power above you, that means that you truly do not have infinite power, because there is something always above you. It's a shark eat shark world, baby. Like, you know, it makes me think that it's not invincible, you know. Base reality. Thank you! Good! Okay, now when I talk about this, okay. Base reality will be their world, and then when we jump to other worlds, we can call it alternate. Got you. Oh!
圣痕计划的可怕之处，就在于它的确可以重新定义世界运作的规则。
I wish that we'd talk about Project Arc more, but yeah. The funny thing about Project Sigma is that it could redefine the rules by which the world operates.
这种走钢丝的生活方式，
很好，很有精神。
Man, that reminds me of her, like, being beyond, like, her when she was a kid, and she was in the visual novel. That personality trait. So strong. I love this battle scene. It's super fun. Two contrasting figures made their way to the ruins of the theater side by side. One carried themselves in a carefree manner. The other had an air of earnest determination. One had seen 500 years of change. The other only had 10 years of memories. The two had little in common, but at the moment they were iconic figures of the Schnitzel organization. Before Otto had made use of an advisory council to deal with the trivial day-to-day issues, while he used the time to carry out various kinds of secret research. But when North America branch broke off to form its own independent anti-entropy organization, which would become the rival of the Schnitzel, Otto simply kicked out the advisory council and used a more efficient way of maintaining stability. And it was then that the Schnitzel Valkyries, once a secret weapon, took center stage. From the squad Snowwolf to the Immortal Blades, one outstanding figure after another joined the Schnitzel, encouraging more girls to join the battle. Oh my god, hopefully you'll be back soon. Time works differently in different universes. You cannot be saying soon. We could be back in 60 years by accident. We gotta be careful here. Without any hesitation, the girl stepped into the wormhole, linking the different dimensions. Behind her, the overseer expression looks simultaneously gratified and melancholy.
在这最后的10年里，比安卡、阿塔奇娜、长光。
什么事，奥托先生？
接下来，只要我们可以通过格尼乌斯回收幽兰戴尔本人。
Why? Why did I for like? Otto, you fucking suck, dude. What the hell? Okay, for those of you who too long didn't read again, so Otto was like, alright, Durandal, you do your thing, you get in there, Bianca, you're doing great, kiddo, all these compliments leading up to it. Bianca goes into the unknown, and he turns to a scientist, and he's like, yeah, so we don't care if she lives or not, we just need to make sure we get the research that she goes in there for. And, like, I get it that I get that Bianca, I understand, like, I understand, you know, Bianca herself even realizes, like, I'm probably not coming back, there's a chance that I might not, you know? Otto realizes that. But damn, Otto, can you just like take a moment to be human for once and be like, you know, this battlesuit's so fun. Holy smokes. In a seemingly boundless empty space, the girl had to rely on her genius device to find the way. 42,768 steps. 42,769 steps. The girl felt that as soon as she stopped counting, the time would gradually begin to lose all meaning in this place. 61,000 steps. Oh god. Durandal probably would walk the distance of a marathon, yet she did not feel any fatigue. There was still nothing but emptiness in every direction. She began to feel anxiety creeping up on her. She was worried about the reliability of the plan and wondered if the space-time asymmetry would have caused everything to lose its meaning. The girl took deep breaths, regulating her heartbeat and expelling all unwanted thoughts from her consciousness. Although what surrounded the girl could be more accurately described as either rather than air. Whoops. Ether rather than air. She didn't need to breathe to stay alive. She heard a faint distant sound coming from far away, in the distance that the genius is leading her. Not to be precise, the space had no medium through which sound could pass, so the noise must have manifested directly in her brain. She could not make out what was being said, but at the end she was sure that she heard something calling her name. Whatever it was, it recognized her.
真的出现了.
You really came? Not long before, the girl and her companion had arrived at a designated location, perplexed as to why she had been led there. The location data had been transmitted through the ether via a mysterious signal. The message was clear. Bianca would appear here, carrying the bubble universe. Who made this prediction? What was their purpose? The girl and her companion had no idea. It was clearly not Bianca or Rita's prediction. The message even stated that it would be a surprise for the Valkyries. It was transmitted by the Overseer? No, Otto would never use that kind of method. He liked to be in control of the situation. Please be Schrodinger. Please be Schrodinger. Then it could be sent by the residents of the bubble universe? This was even more likely. They had naturally lost connection with the imaginary tree, and thus didn't have the capability to send messages to this place. The visitors from base reality were getting closer. There was the characteristic radiation of a living organism there. Was emitting.
老豆豆，比安卡，能听见吗？比安卡，我是石宇绮罗，我在。
Oh! Oh, what?
石宇绮罗和尼古拉斯都在这里。
What? She couldn't help but laugh. Her partner had a good intuition and she began. What? What? What is she doing there? What? Just as the 7 colors combined from both black paint and white light, all possibilities manifesting simultaneously formed the void and empty space. But what potential manifest beings interact with the original void while transforming into something else?
欢迎来到我等休格斯一族的精神世界——糖果屋。美丽的小姐，您可以用我们的语言称呼我们为黑糖和水晶糖。
Oh my god, the sugars. Yo, pour one out for the homie peppermint. Pour one out for the homie peppermint sugar.
可能我是没怎么见过宇宙级别的世面，不过也总比
His
你们这些
natural
本能就是
instinct is
装
to
死的家伙
play
强吧。
dead. God damn.
二位的感情看起来真好。
Look at these little babies.
唉，姑且算是吧。毕竟被这家伙骗来骗去的孽缘，也真的是源远流长
I just
啊。
never thought we'd see her. I'm so like... Oh man.
过去的事情总有
Oh
过
my
去的原
god,
因
my
啊。
heart.
嗯。
My heart.
好，言归正传，用休格斯的时间来说，我们在2周之前收到了一封有人告诉我们，你在休格斯时间的今天会来到这。
这么说来，
哦，这个呀，他在2年前通过了金平堂长老的考核，正式加入了我们休格斯的共同体。
She joined the
当那个世界套
sugars!
被繁衍进入你身体内部之后，薛定谔博士回归量子之。
We need to get Schrodinger. This is so bullshit.
范程度比起糖果屋来说，恐怕是高出了好几个数量级。
Oh, the bubble universe inside of you is gonna cause some problems.
主要是
Why?
体量的问题。
Oh my god, this makes okay. So, one thing, if you guys don't know about the bubble universes for Honkai, like how it works, is that when you have a bubble universe, and you have two bubble universes within the Sea of Quanta, the smaller universe, the smaller bubble, can actually impact a larger bubble, and the vice versa is more difficult. And that was something that I was a little bit perplexed about. I was like, why would it be that it's something that's smaller can affect the larger one with more ease? You'd think that because of bubbles and how membranes work, that the other one could absorb, the larger one would absorb the smaller, right? But it's due to the surface area of the membrane itself that's causing it to be this way. Because the surface area is a larger size. Aha. So when they're small, okay, we learned today. That's cool.
复杂，嫁接的手术也就越困难。
Ooh, okay. That's cool. So they try to, like, the workaround is like trying to trick the tree that it's a new branch. And when it's a small branch, it's easier to click on than if it's a larger branch. Got you. And they think that the bubble universe within Bianca might be massive. Okay.
因此，对于这种方法而言，世界炮反而是越小越好。砂糖饮药是休格斯一族传承至今的上古遗物，或许曾用来制造糖果屋本身。
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Do you guys remember this from Alien Space? Does anyone remember this from Alien Space? Oh god, why did I read it? Oh god! No! Peppermint!
间吵架到天荒地老。
No need to be played. I'm sure in a while we'll be arguing again. That's adorable.
人也变得更稳重了。
More sure of yourself. Oh, oh, this is too much for my heart. This is too much.
你不如说那是死板吧。大家好像都觉得，整个天命最不好说话的女武神就是我了。
Ariana, you being more stubborn than before? I'm gonna say that's cap, Bianca. I'm gonna say that's cap. You were definitely a lot stubborn when you were younger.
不是吧？我怎么感觉你应该是最好说话的那个才对呢？唉，虽然在业务上我也能想象你认死理的
I was
样
gonna
子
say you're very opinionated. That never changed about her. She's still opinionated.
你自己不都这么说了吗？同样是和 S 级女武神当同事，要是让我自己选，我也会选丽塔那样。
哎呀，你们都已经是 S 级女武神了，就像当年的 Cecilia 大人和德丽莎大人一样呢。
Oh my god. She mentioned Cecilia and I just want to hug her. I just want to hug her. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Oh my god. Ah!
这个真不敢当，更何况有着 Cecilia 前辈的深深烙印。
Bruh. I know, like, that's a thing, right? Is that we talked about this before, we talked about this before too, where it's like, Bianca totally could be the real Kiana, right? And the more this kind of stuff happens, the more I'm just like, yo, this is the real Kiana, dog. And the only thing that makes, like, she looks so much like Cecilia, though. She looks so much like Cecilia. But why is she blonde and not have white hair, right? That's my only thing. But it's like, God, she looks so much like Cecilia, and she, like, wields Abyss Flower, and she feels a connection to, come on.
这也很正常啊。
又刚好相同。
I didn't come with Alma, so what does that
那位
mean?
主教
Yeah.
大人，也许没和在 Cecilia 大人之前，黑原白花的数任主人，也绝不是一件轻松的事。
实话说，
Sorry that I'm
现在
so
也还有明星
quiet.
的女武神，
I am
觉得她很
so
不吉利。
absorbed in the story that, like, I just melted into the game. I'm so sorry. I know I should be talking more. Like, but I am so into this, man. I'm just sitting here silently reading and absorbing. I am so sorry, guys.
来如此，这确实很奇妙呢。
Oh, that's cool. So due to like okay. So Cecilia's hesitance was like okay about its past, and then Dudu's hesitance about it is because she feels like it's Cecilia's.
前辈
Understandable.
果然就像我的姐姐一样呢。
哎，
刚才的那些话题，我和丽塔聊，我会觉得不好意思；和主教聊，或许那真的是只有像前辈你才能诉说的东
That's
西吧。
so cute. That's so cute. She's like, oh, I feel like it's something that only we can talk about. You feel like an older sister to me because I wouldn't really want to talk about this right now. I cannot talk about this to the overseer, so it's like nice that we have this. That is so precious. Oh.
被你这么一说，我还真的有点不好意思了呢。说起来啊，我们聊了这么久，尼古拉斯，你的准备工作应该也差不多了吧？抱歉二位，事情好像有点被我搞砸了，或者说程序出了
What
些
the
大
fuck? The tone changed. Whoa! The music changed. The tone changed. What happened? A bug?
具体的说法不重要了。总之，现在一些所谓的虚数造物，贝武帮我解决一下吧，比安卡。万一糖果屋本身要是遭到入侵，可就麻烦了。
明白了，只要把敌人全部消灭就可以。我喜欢这种简单直接就能解决问题的方式。
I think it's kind of straightforward approach to problems. Yeah, just beat it all up.
我把
Yeah.
所有的力量都借给你。
Yay, the sugars! Line after line of alien texts rolled across the screen. Wrath's control console. It looked like she was running some rather
感
complicated
谢
programs.
之前的战斗辛苦了，不过可能还要麻烦你再等一会儿。对方出于对信道稳定性的担忧，选择了优先处理任务。之后，
对方是说小优？
啊，是的，那个人工智能，它正在全速接收由砂糖银药传输的世界炮临时连接方案，所以还不能。
明白了，正好趁这段时间，我也可以调整一下自己的心情。我是不管怎么说，能在今天获得这样的机会，
嗨，你不好意思什么呀？几楼的好朋友就是我的好朋友，这都是分
I'm
内
gonna
之
accuse
事。
a friend of mine! Ah!
等一下，哦，很好，很好，
发生什么了？
成功了，对方一次性接收并直接实现了连接方案。事不宜迟，那我们这就开始通话。
等等，
测试测试，比安卡，能听见吗？
没有问题，听得很清楚，我听得很清楚。圣剑幽兰戴尔，
Oh my god! Oh! She gets to talk to the blade again!
哎呀，几年不见，你好像已经从小女孩出落成大姑娘了嘛！可喜可贺，可喜可贺！
I'm so happy. The blade. I missed the blade, dude. The visual novel made me love the blade so
现在三围有多
much.
少了？差不多有9开头了吧？
Look at nice proportions. Like, what the hell? Chill out, blade. Chill out.
你这家伙怎么一上来就给我玩不正经的？绮罗前辈还在这里呢。
啊，这样说来，丽塔果然不在嘛？
但是你放心，这几年他也过得很好，只是他的体质不像我这样可以抵尽虚数之术。
其实你能在他们的帮助下抵达现在这个空间领域，不过这么说来，我自己果然也是很厉害的吧？比如说，我现在已
Sometimes
经
to
做完
chat
了必
with
要的
you.
工作，
Oh,
可以腾出
I
手来
missed
像
you
这样
so
和你闲聊。
much.
做完了必要的工作，我还以为我们正准备开始关键的部分呢。
这就是电子处理器的长处啦，能做到的事情，不过嘛，因为这事儿其实没法做得很完美，所以今后我恐怕
什么意思？
Blended apart is
这
you.
一
Are
部
you
分
talking
出
about the
来，
gems you're made of?
啊，怪我，脑子里想的东西经常跑得比嘴上说的东西超前太多。不说笑了，我们像这样相处的时间多半非常有限。 还是让我把整个情况。几年的运作过程让我逐渐意识到，那个世界炮的危机起源于它的诞生之时。
Oh, that was outside the trial with Jimmy. I was like, who's over in the side of the frame? Who's she like grabbing on? Like, all right. Oh.
在5万年前，为了摆脱崩坏的威胁，人们曾尝试将崩坏能排放到量子之海的世界炮中，但随着绿者摧毁了他们的技术中心木大陆，这一设想已经无法实施。好在固定人工世界炮的以太锚点尚未
My
损坏。
heart, dude. Sorry, I just wanted to look at that. The Hersh should destroy the research. Ooh, I want to make sure I read everything. Hold on. 5,000 years toward off the Honkai thread, humans were trying to discharge the Honkai energy into the bubble universe of the Sea of Quanta. But as the Hersher destroyed their research center at the Mu continent, they were unable to implement their plan. Luckily, the ether anchor wasn't damaged. Oh, nice. Okay.
人们转而试图将这个当作垃圾站设计的世界改造成人类可居住的避难。然而，将世界炮改装成避难所的这种潜在的功能错位，最终因为一位狂人的行动，那个世界自此以后的所有历史，其实比安卡，你在那个世界的冒险，为那位狂人的命运画上了句号，也因此承担起了挽救那个。正如尼古拉斯之前分析的那样，他的繁衍基线仍然需要锚定在稳定的负伤系统上。所以简单来说，
没关系，我原本就有这样的心理准备，只是一切还像过去一样。
啊，虽然我的职责暂时没有什么变化，不过比安卡，你现在应该可以。
你的意思是？
来吧，我用砂糖饮药的临时权限，让你直观感受一下。
Oh, temporary access to the trigger key to experience it yourself. The girl nodded her head. Countless streams of data suddenly began pouring into her mind. For an instant, she understood what the overseer meant when he said a consciousness so enormous that it defied common sense. But unlike what the overseer said about the Honkai persona, this consciousness seemed to fill her mind with a warmth of nostalgia, like a birthday candle Rita lit for her on her New Year's Eve. Whoa! Whoa! What? Whoa! Reunited and it feels so good. Man, her adventure to like go get all of those like, oh my god, my heart. My heart, dude. Calm yourself, resting place of the universe. I am space-time itself, the source of the power that destroys all. My role is to obliterate all universes. The girl felt a familiar power flowing through her body. Oh my god. The journey! 5 years earlier, she had used the power to cut through layers of space, cutting a manifold that supported an entire continent free from the bubble universe. In those 5 years, this power had been lying dormant, not in base reality, but in a strange dimension within her body. In terms of fighting capability, the girl who already possessed the Abyss Flower didn't need assistance from the Holy Blade, as the name she now went by demonstrated. The Holy Blade Durandal had become a symbol of her life as a Valkyrie.
现在顺利地提取出我的核心之后，你可以把守护世界的职责交给任何一位你信得过的。
这样，承载世界命运的人就可以。
不，严格来说，每时每刻仍然只有一人可以承担。但如今，你们可以目前通过学习模仿砂糖银药的技术方案，我能够以自己为媒介，让世界炮辗转。 与虚数之数建立联系。
So I just want to reread that really quick. Now, after extracting my core, you can transfer the duty of protecting this world to any of your reliable colleagues. Okay, yeah, so I did read that right. Okay, cool. Then studying through studying technologies that mimic the sugar key, I can now serve as intermediary and establish an indirect link between the bubble universe and the imaginary tree. Others that follow as Poro and Hajime.
虽然目前还没有办法实现世界炮独立的最终目标，但我们至少不需要一直都用你的身体来保护那个世界了。哦，顺便，我帮你校准了那个须弥芥子，这样即使将我的核心授予他人，你也仍然可以在短时间内继续使用星凯的力量。
Though after you remove the cortisone, you will still be able to use the power of astral harness for a short time. Oh, good.
你这么一说，星凯确实没有直接消失。
归根结底，星凯真正依赖的并非特定的世界炮，
Particularly the bubble universe
而
and
是
the power
量
of the
子之
same
海本
quanta
身的力
itself.
量。
You hate the visual novel? You said you do. Yes and no. The last few chapters, like the last several chapters, were really good. I think the writing is just really bad for all of it, though. But the information that made me connect to, like, anything that involved the sword and Bianca, which was like the final 10 chapters, basically. Like, that stuff was dope. Anything with Schrodinger as well, super great. Anything with the side characters, I just did not care about. Because the writing was so bad. But I really loved the parts where it focused on Bianca, or where it focused on, like, Schrodinger, or where it focused on the sword itself. And, like, the sword has such an amazing personality, and it was just, like, all those layers, like, added to my experience, which I really enjoyed. But holy fuck. Sometimes it would just be useless. And, like, they'd make, like, cool historical references and be like, oh, cool, remember this person from, like, this ancient timeline? Well, they're here now, and they're a waifu. And I'm like, cool. I still don't fucking care. Right? Like, that's my only issue, is that it took... With the amount of hours that I put into, like, reading / playing the visual novel, it just felt weird. Because some of it I enjoyed, but some of the writing was just so bad.
不过，
It was like reading a fan fiction sometimes.
那个叫须弥芥子的好玩意儿究竟是什么来头？
Oh, Sue! You interested Sue into me?
他
Yeah!
说，自己曾经用了数千年去执行一个叫做恒沙计划的项目，通过观测平行世界的发展，来寻找对抗崩坏的方法。
The development of parallel universes was observed in hopes of finding a way to counter Honkai. Sue! And now he's playing games with God. Sue has elevated.
哦，是这样啊。虽然很遗憾我这里没有相关资料，但那样的人物愿意把须弥芥子转让给你，他想必已经找到
The
自己
worst
需要
part
的答案
about
了
it,
吧
it just sounds like I said he's dead. But he's literally playing mahjong with God right now. He's just vibing up there. Like, anyway. He must have found the answer he was looking for, right?
似乎是这样的。他说，恒沙计划在最后，但是他并不愿意告诉我细节是什么。后来，我把他留下的资料转交给了主教，可主教也一样，对此守口如瓶。
Oh my, I'm so happy that I read the manga and that I read the visual novel, man. I can't even, because I'm just thinking about this. For those of you who experienced this chapter without reading all that shit, was this chapter fun to you? Because I love this. But I read all that stuff, so I know exactly what everything's talking about. But how the, like, just, like, did you guys still feel satisfied with this chapter, or did it just kind of feel like, oh, we're getting background info? Right? Because I feel like if you didn't read the manga, you'd be like, how would you even understand what the fuck is going on with Sue? Right? Like, no shot you would understand, right? Hi, crew. How's it going? Alexis, Mondo, and they only have 3. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem with visual novel. I mean, there's a lot of really good visual novels out there. It's just that the one for Honkai was brutal. I hope that I'm gonna be reading Anti-Entropy next, though. So hopefully that one goes better. Fingers crossed. Oh, the blade is so precious.
你在意的是这个？ 你这辈子都从来没看过足球比赛吧？
那有什么关系？听你聊这些和崩坏无关的事情，对我这把
Hear
喜
you
欢
talk
偷懒
about
的
things
武器
unrelated to
来说，
Honkai is the
就是
greatest
最
joy
开
for
心的
me.
事
I
情
love
了
the
呀。
blade so much, man.
我明白了。
比安卡小姐不好意思了呢，真可爱。
So cute. Bro, the blade is like, cute girl, me likes. Yes, yes. She also was like, wow, your proportions though. Like, damn, sword? Chill, sword.
好了，虽然前路或许还要让各位置生死于度外，但我相信，请各位相信世界、伙伴，还有自己的可能性。再会，亲爱的各位，我的身体可就交给你们保管喽。信号消失了，
一定还会再见面的。
乐观是好事。虽说我隐隐觉得
I feel like those
地
people
球上
from
那
the
些前
previous
文明
era
的
are kind
人
of
都
scary.
真要说起来，
I'm sorry. I love this chapter so much. They see her treat me to a chocolate
这
buffet.
还是有点不够吧？不如干脆一起唱卡拉 OK， 唱一
Sing
整夜如何？
karaoke.
那个还是算了吧。我也
You're
不是真的没有
self-conscious,
资质证
but
明
you're
啊。
so pretty. You're okay. Even if you're a bad singer, you're so pretty, so it's fine.
他的心
Holy shit! That's the first time I backed out of the mission in a long. Oh, whoa! Oh shit! We finished all that. A few days ago, with a few wrist twists, solemn threads reached out from the fair-haired man's sleeve. He used these threads to control the puppets, just like how puppets were controlling the tin puppets. He injected his electronic neurons into the puppet. Like a Trojan program, calmly watched the Hersher from a distance. 10th Hersher, Hersher of Dominance, a collection of thousands of minds connected by a myriad of fragile puppets. As someone who also had a disturbed mind, he found it a perfect victim. He is watching idly as it provokes each Hersher in turn, as it is almost wiped out by anti-entropy, and watching as it forces Kieran to duel with the other half of Siren's consciousness. But he wasn't interested in their growing up stories. He needed to snatch the Hersher corpse capable of creating unique spaces before anyone did, and that opportunity came to him. When the 10th Hersher was fighting Kiana, there was no way realize a rat among the puppet army. Thus, at the very moment when the newborn Hersher Flamesian swung the blade of conviction, he got his hands on the 10th Hersher core. All warfare is based on deception. He saw no shame in this. Before the core's connection to the imaginary space was cut, he quickly examined the spatial power that didn't belong to the Hersher of the Void. And exactly then, he was dragged into a white void by an intangible force. Oh! Oh shit! He didn't expect this, but he wasn't afraid. 17 years ago, he had visited this place. And back then, he hadn't adapted to any thinking pattern that's not human. He remembered he came up with a question in a hurry. Before the question was formed and uttered, the answer had surged into his mind. Yeah, dude, bring us back to second eruption. Yeah, it was so deep and profound that no brain could have kept it. After the moment, he did believe that one before him was an almighty god. A god won't mind any man's thoughts, just like a man won't mind any ant's thoughts. But it reminded an unconfirmed assumption. It wasn't a precondition or truth. I was saying this earlier about the ant thingy, because Otto mentions that in Second Eruption as well. Like, we're nothing, we are ants before God, is like the line he says. 17 years later, he had grasped the priceless data of Project Valkua. He knew that, he knew this existence that dwelled in the void had only more knowledge than any human. Knowledge is of course a source of power, but knowledge itself isn't. Interesting. That actually makes sense because knowledge itself, of course, the concept of knowledge does not have power, but those who wield knowledge to their benefit possess power. That's a very cool concept that he mentioned there. A tick looks just like as tiny as an ant, but unlike an ant, it carries numerous viruses that can make a human who sits at the top of the food chain suffer from hemorrhaging fever and beg for a quick death. So, in their second encounter,
17年后，我们又见面了。崩坏的意志。
Will of
是的，
Honkai.
您无法改变世界的规则，您无法如果说您背后的虚数之数是浩瀚深邃的大洋，那么您本身其实只相当于一湾浅浅的海峡吧。
Yes, I've come to a better understanding of you now. You can't change how the world works. You can't intervene directly. Your disciples, the Hershers, they can realize their full potential. Now, this is something I brought up previously as well during when I was reading Second Eruption. I was like, okay. Because I did like the little Second Eruption recap stream thing twice, right? Where I talked about the Second Eruption twice on 2 different streams. And one of the things that I brought up was that I believe the will of Honkai, like the Honkai god basically, like cannot directly do something. And that's why he has vessels do it for him. I'm using the term him lightly, just so we can put it, like I'm not, obviously it's ungendered, they just show before you as any form, right? So, but we're just using the term him for now. So like, when it comes to this, right? Is that in and of itself, like that is a weakness of the Honkai god already. Is that it's like, how do I put it? Because if the will of Honkai was able to directly affect things without others being its vessels or implementing things, without it doing it directly, like with the power of doing something directly, means that we're at the point in the game where there would be no longer balance. Right? Because that means we would now need to have a quote-unquote good or a humanity-based god. And that's not possible because that means the expansion of Honkai would be too rampant. And the reason why Honkai, this was explained to us in Honkai, like the intro to Honkai or whatever, that the power of Honkai evolves with humanity's advancement, right? So the only way that the Honkai could get stronger is not because the will of Honkai itself is getting stronger, but because the vessels are also evolving with the era, which is why there's always balance. Just saying! Just saying! Anywho, you know. A little dab on them, you know, don't mind me. Just out here with my multiple brain cells today. You can't change how the world works. You can interview. If the imaginary tree behind you is an ocean,
话说回来，
of course, any
不论
street
什么样的海峡，也都足够淹死成千上万个奥托阿波卡利斯了。
any street can drown thousands of auto apocalypses.
只是，您甚至不打算阻止那个叫做凯文·卡斯兰纳的人吗？你们或许也算是老相识了吧？
I'm grateful that you won't intervene. You won't even stop Kevin Kaslana? You should be well acquainted.
哦，那就是我无缘得见的东西了。再说，我本就不应该用人类的方式去衡量您的追。合作愉快。
Holy shit. That was crazy. That was crazy. What? My name is Elizabeth McSmith. Nothing special about it. When I was named, my dad didn't give it much thought. Why does her name have to be special? Isn't Beth cute? have her happy. My dad has the name of I can blame it on others. I'm reading way too fast. I'm so sorry. For some reason, I can't blame others. People now call me by an exotic Far Eastern name, Nagamitsu. Not that I'm remotely connected to the Far East. It all started 5 years ago.
请问这里是圣1504长光？
是的，我就是所长本人。你就是……
那么我也可以叫你长光小姐吧？
啊？
不好意思，我难道搞错了什么？
Oh, my heart. A young A-rank Valkyrie in the youngest A-rank Valkyrie in history made a huge mistake. Like this was simply a part of the lab name, some sort of ancient legacy. In the year 1504, a bladesmith from the Far East set up a workshop at the Schnitzel. Later on, the workshop turned into a design institute and then a lab. The Nagamitsu name refused to die and stuck with it, which is to say the original Nagamitsu workshop had seen 16 different types of masters or directors to become the lab that is now. And in no way is the name associated with Elizabeth McSmith. Of course, she could have clarified it, but she didn't bother. So she answered like this.
好的，长光小姐。
Oh, sure, Nagamitsu. Maybe it was because people found it interesting. Maybe because Elizabeth McSmith sounded like a mouthful. Or maybe it was too hard to tell the 3 Elizabeth's part of HQ. And Nagamitsu became her new name that day. And so at the point, at least back then, my attention wasn't on the name at all.
主教说，如果世界上还有一个地方可以把前文明遗物从我的身体里提取出来，那么它就是圣1504研究所了。
I understood immediately. Mr. Apocalypse sent me another test subject that he had lost interest in. The naive me thought this was just a simple case of something being left accidentally in her body. So I assured her and arranged a full set of examinations. Of course, the test results hit me hard and very instant. I got my hands on them. It was way beyond the reach of any medical measurements. X-ray, ultrasonic MRI, all of them returned no anomaly. No sign of Honkai energy leak either. The trying lasted for half a year until one day, out of despair, I tried to measure neurotrino radiation on her. And I was shocked to find her body was emitting more neutrons per second than 10 nuclear power plants, until there was a black hole in her heart or under her belly button. I had to admit the impossible. A huge and stable space was somehow folded up inside her
太好了
body.
终于有办法知道了，谢谢你。
Finally, there's a way to... From that day on, this passionate girl became a frequent visitor of the lab. She cared more about her inner radiation than her body measurements. As time passed on, I heard a lot of bizarre stories from another world from her. Shakespeare, the submarine piloting pirate. They're the founder of the Republic of South American Aboriginals. Watt, the brain computer interface engineer. We love Jimmy-san. And I got to witness her fiery passion became deeper, more intense, and also more reserved as her age grew. For the Schnitzel rookies, it was impossible to imagine a silent, calm Valkyrie Durandal had a heart that burned brighter than
长
fire.
光，电脑里应该有吧？让我看一看呢。现在是第210。
你对数字的算术性质还是那么敏感呢？还记得吗？以前我第2次还是第3次来的时候，你试图和我说明17是个什么样的数字。对，
唉，现在回想起来，我真想挖个坑把那时候的自己埋了。这都是什么没话找话的方式啊！实在是太丢人了。
啊，至少独一无二，不是吗？
This was unique. Aw. You're the only thing that's truly unique, Bianca Durandal. I know it sounds absurd saying this, but where I stand. This from where I stand, but I do wish to keep supporting you until the day your dreams come true. Until the day you find your dreams yourself. A new dream. Oops. I'm really not the Valkyries. I'm really not like the Valkyries. I'm essentially evil. Life's work. The dice had been rolled. The dusty old wheels of destiny began to turn once again. Wait, what? I'm sorry, that was... what the fuck? Why did you make me pay battle suits for that? Sorry, what? Bruh, they deployed me and I didn't hit anybody. Like, what was... Alright, man. Alright, here we go, boys.
There
we go. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm hitting the crack pipe. Never mind. Never mind.
综上所述，本人奥托阿波卡利斯，自即日起辞去天命主教一职，并彻底退出组织。
God, I want to know so badly. Does Durandal go with him when he leaves?
辞去天命主教一职，并彻底退出组织。
Like, what the fuck? Also, the fact that Teresa is standing up against him is insane, too. Holy shit. May's training arc has ended. Look at the spatial divide from it. Holy shit.
是时候兑现我们之间的契约了，老朋友。
God, I want to play 26 so bad, chat. I want to play 26 so bad. I want to play 26 so bad. Damn it. 真啊！